The Senate has officially taken up President Biden's American Rescue Plan, but it got off to a bit of a slow start. Vice President Kamala Harris cast the tie-breaking vote Thursday for the Senate to begin considering the bill, but an objection from Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson forced a full reading of the 628-page bill. After that, senators will then vote on potential amendments. Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says the Senate will stay in session for as long as it takes to bring the bill to a vote. For more, I'm joined by CBS News reporter Sarah Ewall-Wice. Sarah, good to have you. So on Wednesday, President Biden agreed to limit the eligibility for the next round of stimulus checks. Is that the last major hurdle for this bill in the Senate? Where do negotiations currently stand?
So limiting those checks was one of several changes that Senate Democrats made to the House version of the bill when they introduced it as an amendment. Other changes they made include so-called guardrails on that $350 billion in state and local aid. They also added some additional funding for things like infrastructure, including broadband, as well as some funding for other things like rural health care providers, and expanded some eligibility for credits as well as other provisions that some people might want. From here, as you mentioned, it is now being read at 628 pages in the Senate before they can go to up to 20 hours of debate on this bill. Once that happens, they can then go and have what's called a vote-a-rama, where senators can introduce additional amendments to this. We do know of several senators that will definitely be introducing amendments that we know of at this time before that they can actually go and vote on this. But Senator Chuck Schumer has said that they do plan to go until they get this done, and he's accused Senate Republicans really of just delay tactics.
I was searching for other books, and just as a comparison point, it's about reading half of War and Peace that they're doing now in reading this bill. Sarah, so of course, after the Senate votes on the bill, it has to go back to the House for approval. Given some of the changes that have happened, particularly to the stimulus payments and the upper limits that have now been put into the Senate version of the bill, is the House likely to pass this bill with these changes? And when can we actually see the bill on the president's desk?
So they have expressed some frustration in terms of Democrats that the senators decided to target the checks of all things to make cuts to. But with that said, today the White House said that 98% of households that receive checks in the December package will also receive checks and larger ones in this bill. They pointed out that the 2% that will not receive checks that were less than $600 in the last coronavirus relief package, and they're also touting some of the other provisions that increase the tax credits for middle and low income Americans, which will benefit those moving forward. To that end, Speaker Pelosi did say today that she has confidence in this bill being passed in the Senate and being returned to the House, and she said she would likely send it over to the president's desk. So there is expressed confidence in the Democrats sticking to it and getting this passed. Of course, we do know that Republicans have held strong, specifically in the House, against the passage of this relief package.
So, Sarah, real quick, time for one more question for you. A minimum wage hike is not included in the relief bill, but Senator Bernie Sanders says he is planning on introducing an amendment to raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour. Is there an appetite for this on the Hill?
Well, it depends on who you ask. Many Democrats have expressed support for the $15 minimum wage increase. It was included in the House version of the bill before it was taken out of the Senate version because of rules in passing a bill in the Senate. Of course, Bernie Sanders is introducing this as an amendment, and what this really does is it gets all senators on the record with where they stand in terms of increasing the minimum wage to $15 an hour. We know that Republicans have expressed opposition to this. Several Democrats did say they don't expect that it should be in a coronavirus relief package, or don't think it should be increased all the way to $15 an hour. So it'll be interesting to see whether the $15 minimum wage increase moves forward as a standalone bill, or if it's included in future legislation, as some Democrats might try and make it a part of.
All right, Sarah Ewall-Wice, thank you.